I'm Jess and welcome to Count Nanowrimo Day 19. Today's word count is 34,165 words, which I was very happy with, and hopefully going to get another 2,000 words today. And today's topic is what authors have inspired your writing, and there have been multiple over the last few years, and I'm going to show you their books, I guess. The first author I think really inspired my writing was John Green. I read Looking for Alaska probably just before I started booktubing or just after, I'm not sure. But I found it in Waterstones, and I sat in Waterstones for an hour and read the first 100 pages, and my copy is beat up and I want a new one. But who knows if I'll get one. I read it for an hour and then got kicked out by them saying, "Are you going to buy that book or not?" And I was like, "Not today, because I haven't got any money, but I will buy it at some point." And then they were like, "Well, if you're not going to buy it, I'm sorry, but you have to leave." And so I went back the next day and I bought it. So that was my adventure with Looking for Alaska. I just think this was the first book I read that I really, really got into and thought about the writing of it, and I just loved it. It was so great. I have a blog post on it on my old blog where I talk about how it's the first book I read critically, like understanding all the word choices. It's the first book I read as a writer, I think, and that's great. Next is Laini Taylor. I just think her world and her writing is beautiful and it's so inspiring. I read them and I just wanted to write more fantasy, and that's what I'm doing now, so thank you, Laini Taylor, for making me write fantasy. Next is The Darkest Minds by Alexandra Bracken, one of my favourite books ever. I just loved it, and it made me think about characters more and the relationships with each other and groups of characters. I've only ever really had like one or two characters together and then they sort of have friends, but their friends don't really matter. And in my second book of the series I was writing, I introduced a whole group of characters, and that was probably because of this, because I loved the characters and the group dynamic so much that I added a group into my novels. And lastly is Tahereh Mafi. I love that she focuses way more on the characters and their story rather than the world building, and that's kind of what I want to do. I don't want my stories to be all about the world. While I love Laini Taylor's world, she also focuses on characters, and I could not read a book and I could not write a book that didn't have characters in their story at its core. It couldn't be all about the world, and that's what I loved about these books, that Juliet's struggles were really the book, not the world. The world was just where she lived, and that was it, and that's how I want to write. I hope you enjoyed this insight into the authors that I feel inspired me and affect my writing, and I will see you tomorrow. Goodbye.